Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'd like to show you how I'm going to stitch this sari. This is a red sari and I'm planning to stitch like a traditional classical dress out of it. I'm planning to do Pranavalaya song, so hopefully I'll be able to stitch it. Last time I tried to stitch a dress and I did a classical dance. I'm not trained in any dance forms. I watched YouTube videos and stitched it. It came out well. So this time again I'm trying out another dress. I just thought I will shoot as much as I can during this process of stitching. So this is a plain sari I got from online. It is like a silk sari, maybe it is a semi-silk, and this is the pallu part which I'm going to use too. And I got lining this time matching to the sari and as big as the sari, because last time I ran out of lining, so this time I've been an extra cautious. Let's see how this process goes. So this was the pallu part and I cut that part off from the main sari so that I can stitch the back piece with it. And now this is the remaining part of the sari, and I'm going to take, this is the part where I cut it off, and I'm going to take 60 inches of this sari in order to make the long fan. The long fan is the main attractive part of the dress, so in order to get all the pleats, I've decided I'll take 60 inches. Hopefully I'll have enough left to make the pants and the pallu part. So I will be cutting this off. My idea is to make both long fan and short fan with this. So this is the 60 inches piece of the sari which I cut it off. So you can just approximately put and yourself and see, you'll get an idea whether that will be enough for you or not. If you think you need more, then you'll have to cut more. Then the sari may or may not be enough. And then I'm going to measure my length and then cut it on the top. Even before I cut it on the top, I will be cutting off one side, like there are borders on both the sides here. So one side border I will have like half inch extra because it goes under for stitching. I will put half inch extra and then cut all the way this side border. So this is the border piece which I separated. Make sure you cut straight following the lines of the border. I measured my height, how much length I would need for the fan. Approximately it is 30 inches. So I made a fold here and I will cut this piece off so that I can use this piece for the short fan. So this is the length I'll be using. So the length of it was 60 inches and the height was 30 inches. This is for me, but you might need more height and more length according to your body size. And I'm going to now start stitching. I will be stitching, I will fold this part here and stitch it, and also we'll attach the lining and we'll fold this part and keep approximately 5 inches on the top of this and stitch this whole border on it. I'll show you after I do that. So I've stitched this part here, and I thought of putting another border here, but then I realized that in the movie Sai Pallavi's it was all plain. There wasn't this extra border, nor there was the central border. So I'm going to skip those steps. It will make my stitching part easy, and I will do the lining behind and start doing the folds. So measure the lining cloth for this cloth and I'm taking little bit extra so that I can stitch the things for the hooks, the base for the hooks. So I measured exactly the 30 inches of length for the width, and for the length maybe I took 5 inches extra. Maybe I took 70 inches instead of 60 inches. And I'm going to cut this off. Make sure we cut it straight. So I stitched one side of the lining, and then I'm going to fold this part, probably 8 folds, and then stitch it here at the edge so that it will be more thicker when we stitch the bottom side. I'll do the same on the other side too. So this is how I stitched it on inside to both the sides. I made this area thicker so that when the hooks come it stays stiff. Did the same on this side too, and I put a stitch here so that it's easy when I fold. I will iron this first, and then we'll start doing pleats, which is half-inch distance, and then iron it, and probably if needed I will even stitch it and show you. I ironed this by folding half inch like this, and then my idea is to stitch it here so that these pleats stay in place. I'm going to do this for the entire long fan throughout the length of it, and I'll show you after that. I stitched all the pleats like this, but it's a lot of work. I would recommend only ironing it, because you got to do every stitch up and down and behind. It took me a while to do this, but even if you iron it, it should be the same. And then I will be stitching it here together and then show you. I stitched all these together, and I checked and saw if the height is good, and it looks good. And I'll see if I have to make the stitches a little bit close by. I'll make another stitch and then cover it up, and then stitch the dories, the threads, so that I can tie it. So I took a piece of this cloth and I cut it and folded a little bit and stitched it here so that it gets a neat look. Did the same on the other side. I'm planning to take some long piece of cloth, stitch it and attach it on both sides so that it acts like a piece of thread or dory, and I can tie it to my waist. So I could sew these 2 threads on either side so that I'll be able to tie it. So friends, this is how I stitched the long fan, the central piece in the classical Indian dance costume, Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.